So, Vi, this is about the time where, like, you know, you've had a couple rounds of drinks that haven't been paid for by you or the guy sitting next to you. And generally it's just because he'll flag the bartender down, and he'll be like, basically like, oh yeah, those were for us, and she'll just give them to him, and, you know, he'll just like cheers you, and you guys take drinks. And
Vi's taking mental notes the whole time.
Right, yeah,
that's a good one. I need to use that next. Like,
right,
yeah.
So I think that after, like, through some conversation, you realize that this guy and his age shows, like, he's clearly an older individual, maybe late 40s, early 50s. So he's been in the game probably a lot longer than you have, right?
I have much to learn from you, senpai.
Right, yeah, and, like, so, like, ranking systems in your society don't really exist, right? It's all, you know, there's no one really in charge. So I assume, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because this is your thing, I assume it works kind of based off seniority, right? Like, you know, how long you've been in the practice, is kind of like...
Without dying or getting caught, or...
Right, dying or getting caught or thrown away in jail and locked up. But, see, like, I think that, like, the superstition is, like, if that happens to you, then you didn't deserve to be a member anyway.
Exactly. You
like,
lost
you
grace.
weren't a true believer, right? Like, if that happens to you, you weren't a true believer.
Yeah, absolutely. That wouldn't happen to one who truly believes.
Yep, exactly. And yeah, he's definitely got, like, that seniority thing over you. But he's very, like, a very warm individual. His compatriot, however, is not. And I think that the further and further the conversation goes along, the more and more you're included in the scan that she's doing. And there's probably a point, like, where the conversation lulls and you're just observing. And she probably, like, says, like, out loud to him, but, like, out loud so that you can hear it. And she probably says, "How much longer will we be here?" And he probably, like, looks at her and he's like, probably, like, waves his hand. He's like, "It's fine, Ratilda, it's fine. We'll leave soon. Perhaps another hour or two." And she kind of does, like, the hump thing and, like, turns away and crosses her arms and goes back to scanning.
I think Vi would have leaned over and said, "Do you have someplace better to be than this in the city?"
Yeah, I think she, like, shoots you, like, a cold glance, and she's like, "It's not really my scene."
May I ask, what is your scene, then?
I prefer a nice quiet bar. One we can have a drink, go to sleep on time, wake up on time. And, like, every time she says on time, she, like, looks over at the big burly guy sitting next to her, and, like, maybe he blushes a little bit, right? Like, when she says, like, she's like not directly berating him, but still, like, talking about him at the same time. And, like, he probably, like, blushes and, like, yeah, he probably, like, blushes and, like, hides in his cup a few times when she says things. And yeah, she's like, you know, a normal life.
So she says a normal life when she clearly has a shield, and what other accompaniments did she have on?
She's bedecked in, like, leather armor very visibly. She's got a long sword, like, on her hip, and she's got, like, a shield and helm, like, sitting on the table. Roll me a history check.
I think I'm going to use inspiration on this one because I really want to know.
That's good. I think you should.
Oh, it doesn't help at all.
You still have luck.
Yeah, I'll use luck.
Yeah.
So do I roll?
Just roll a d20.
A d20.
Yeah, because you get, like, -3 normally, or -2 plus 3, so it's a +1 total. So we'll add 1 to whatever whatever your d20 is. Perfect. 13. 13 is definitely good enough. So yeah, so I think that the way to look at this, like, via lucky, right, is, like, you look at her helm and her shield, and, like, something tickles the back of your memory, but you can't quite bring it up. And I think that somebody from, like, behind you is, like, at one of the tables and, like, says something, and it sparks your memory, like, just based off somebody, like, exclaiming something in the background. This woman, her equipment is very clearly designed for horse riding, like fighting from atop a horse. And the one place that happens very commonly is very close to Nuln, but it's Averland, which is essentially because Nuln is kind of the outskirts of the Empire. Everything south of Nuln is actually Averland, which is a completely different, like, it's not part of the Empire. But they are famous for their cavalry.
They are Rohan.
They're basically, yeah.
I was just going to say, so they're Rohan.
that's basically true. They're basically Rohan. Even like the knights of the Empire, like, I think, like, the common saying is, like, and you've probably heard this before, like, you know, never ride a horse against someone from Averland. It's always better to fight them in the forest, or something like that. Just simply because, like, they're renowned as venerable horsemen and horsewomen, obviously.
Horse riders would be a better word.
Horse riders, sure. Yeah, so
yeah,
it's very clearly, like, she's not far from home, but she is in technically a different, like, country, right? And she's bedecked in, like, warrior garb, which that would be kind of uncommon as well.
Yeah, so I think she said something like a normal life, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
So I think if I would lead forward and say a normal life in Averland, never was much for horses, but, you know, to each their own.
Yeah, her eyes kind of narrow, and she says, they're far more trustworthy than people.
Knowing what I know, you are not wrong.
A horse knows when its rider is poor. It will kick it. You must be strong to ride the horse from Averland. And
you
also
look like
a
worthy
she says,
rider yourself.
Yeah, and she says also one of good morals. And she kind of, like, as she says that, she, like, does the wide scan of the whole bar, basically.
Depends on your definition of morals. She kind of looks like, you know, like, I don't know, we have pretty good morals here. It just depends on which ones you keep.
Yeah, I think that the man next to him, and let's see, what's his name? His name is probably, we'll say his name is Franklin. And Brother Franklin is probably how you would call him. He like sets he puts like an arm around her and like pulls her in close, like kind of like the tight like side hug. And he's like, "Oh no, that's enough. And he grips her in, and you could tell like she's doing the thing where like, I'm so mad at you, but then also like she softens a little bit, right? Because like she's clearly enamored by him to some degree. But she doesn't want to, like, let down her cool, I'm awesome horse rider garb. But yeah, it's clearly like I'm super mad at you, but I still love being hugged by you, so whatever kind of thing. She does, like, the look the other way, and, like, the eyes, like, down and brows down, and, you know, that kind of thing.
I think if I would totally be like, oh, now aren't you two just darling?
Yeah, again, you get that, like, cool, like, glance, and then looks away. And she kind of, like, cuts off the conversation.
Well, I think Vi would kind of take the hint and just say, well, I think I've taken up too much of your time already. Brother, I really appreciate your information. Hopefully our paths cross again sometime.
Yeah, and I think he says, I'm sure that they will. Luck be with you.
Luck be with you. And I think Vi would take another coin and flip it over her head. Mm-hmm. And then probably meet Chester in the middle when he was walking over to her.
Yep. Yeah, right. Like, Chester, you identified, and probably you see Vi maybe, like, shoot a glance and see him coming over, and that's when you, like, excuse yourself from the table, right? And yeah, you walk over and meet him kind of in the middle of the dance floor-ish. There's people, like, kind of jigging around you or whatever.
So wait, I would totally get Chester to just try to start dancing with me then if we're in the middle of the dance floor.
So you just, like, grab his arm and start spinning around?
Yeah, absolutely.
Chester is still totally holding this mug of ale and is trying
totally
to drink
fine.
it while spinning.
Yeah, it's probably like
Fantastic.
sloshing around a little bit, and you guys are dancing. It's great.
And I think while that's happening, I would be like very, discreetly info dumping all the information that I just learned.
you do the James Bond where as you're doing the dance, you're passing secret information back and forth, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the best place to do it. Nobody will ever suspect. Cool. So Farron, probably at some point, you're with your lady friend, and she's getting more and more drunk. And by this point, it's probably like late afternoon, early evening. So the sun's like starting to descend. And you see Chester and Vi like dancing in the middle of the dance floor. And she's like, you've probably tuned it out, but she's probably like yakking. I'm not even going to give her words or a name. She's just yakking at you. Basically at the side of your face.
Why not? I'll take her onto the dance floor and
Yes, you grab her by the hand and you're like, let's go dance. And she's like, oh, I love dancing. And you guys run onto the dance floor. And you begin to dance. So tell me, Farron, do you do the switch off? Do you, like, all of a sudden bump Chester, start dancing with Vi, and Chester gets your girl, and at some point during the dance? Is that something that you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Cool.
There is no way in hell Chester would allow this to happen.
Okay.
Well, I'm not giving you a choice.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think in this situation, Farron is the master.
Athletics checks?
Yeah, exactly. Vi's like stuck in the middle of you both, like pulling.
Yeah, so I feel like it's acrobatics or performance, not athletics. I don't feel like athletics is going to be the thing here. It's not a strength thing. It's a maneuvering thing. So you can roll performance, or if you want to oppose it, performance and acrobatics, your choice. And it'll just be an opposed roll. Chester rolls a 14.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, fun.
Which makes sense for this situation.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It totally
it's
does.
like, but it's even, right? So like Chester, probably at some point, like, you see him coming over and you know what he's gonna do, so you like grab on real tight. And Vi, maybe you like react strangely, and it throws you off the jig, and Farron's able to like, he does like a tuck and roll and slides in between you guys, and then all of a sudden, Chester, like, you're holding the hands of the girl that Farron was dancing with, and she's like spinning around and all happy. And like, you could totally just be like, no, I'm not dancing with you, and walk away, but that would be strange, obviously.
So, no way that's happening. Still with this mug of ale in my hand, I'm going to dance our way over to Farron and just kind of bump it down the back of his shirt.
Sure. So so Farron and Vi, you have like a few, like, Farron, you interject yourself. You have a few moments to like have a brief exchange before that happens. What do you do? Or is it just like purely just a dance with Vi?
Probably not, because I know she could kill me for less.
Come on, I'm a great dancer.
True. That's actually true.
Have you got what we came here for?
And then some, I think Vi would say.
Aye. Well, seeing as we don't want you to lose any more money, I think we should probably start thinking about heading off soon.
Vi kind of gives like the little kid pout, and then is like, oh, okay, I guess we should go.
Yeah, and that's about the point where, like, all of a sudden, like, Farron, it's not cold, right? It's room temperature ale. Just like your back starts to feel wet, and you're just like, you're shrugging your shoulders a little bit, and you like reach your hand back and touch it, and it's just, your whole back is like soaked with ale, and you like bring it back around to smell it just in case it's pee, but it's not. It's obviously ale.
Or vomit.
Or vomit, right? Yeah, vomit is totally a thing. It could have been as well. And it's clearly ale, and like maybe you see Chester like dancing away with that woman you were with, and he's just like, he gives you like a sly glance or whatever you do, Chester.
Of course.
Right.
There's no time to stop the party. We just get here.
Absolutely not. So do you guys party for longer? Like you've essentially completed your task, right? Like you completed your goal here. Do you continue to enjoy in the revelry, or do you Farron? Do you usher them out eventually, fairly soon?
I think Vi would convince them one more dance and just keep saying that for a little while, and then Farron would probably get upset and be like, "No, we're going."
Yeah, and I think that if you tell Chester it's going to be dark soon, he may be a little more inclined to leave.
I would be more inclined to stay.
Well, I mean, the safety of the bungalow awaits.
True.
Also, the Wrath of Morella if you don't come back.
Right, so
more that one.
Your cheek starts to ache a little bit, and you're like, okay, fine, I guess I'll stop drinking and having a good time. Cool, awesome. So I think that the three of you that are at the bungalow, if there's nothing else that you do, we can fast forward right to when the other three get home.
Yeah, there is something though.
Okay,
something
sure.
small.
Yeah.
Before, Morella writes the letter to her father, and whenever she's done, she goes over to Petrov, and she says, "You have messengers, yes? You can send this to my father then." And it has all the seal and completely written. And
it's sealed and everything already. Cool.
It would be my honor to ensure that this is safely conveyed, yes.
Also, do we have anything to drink here?
I believe we need to restock on that front.
Why don't you go out and get some for us, for when the others come back?
Yes, that about sounds like my current level of duties.
She smiles and she's like, well, at least you know your place.
Damn.
You're gonna end up in a gulag, you realize.
Gulags are not fun, let me just tell you.
A joshingly sort of way, not a serious sort of way.
Okay, so you were clearly joking.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that
gotcha.
maybe that changes. Maybe that's a significant point, right? Is you had this concern before, Petrov, and then now she's joking, she's making a lighter air. So it's okay, well maybe I was seeing things, Maybe the tyrant isn't here to stay.
I'll take it into consideration.
Right, yeah. It'll be categorized in the memory bank. Cool. Yeah, so I think that's a fairly easy task that you can go out. In fact, you could probably just go to the Sylar estate. They're probably supplying the bungalow and be like, hey, we need more wine. And, if Lady Sylar's present, she'll be like, which ones? And, you'll have that whole conversation, I'm sure.
And then she'll say none, and then she'll just give us a really shitty bottle.
Yeah, you'll get the shittiest of bottles. Or you can go out and, purchase your own, but that's not really a thing that we need to act out or anything. Anything else that the three of you do before the three, probably at this point, severely intoxicated individuals,
severely.
Oh, yeah. We're sloppy.
Show me the way to go home.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to go to bed.
So that's actually, I think, canon.
There I go. And it's gone straight to my head.
Right, yeah. So I think that all three of you inside of the bungalow, inside of its reinforced stone walls, hear your companions before you actually see them. They're probably linked arm in arm, skipping down the main drag of the road, singing at the top of their lungs. And there's probably a moment, wherever each of you are, Arcadia, if you're, stocking the wine cabinet, you look over your shoulder, what the hell is that? You're training Dane in your room, Hannibal, and you look up.
Oh no, I know drunk Farron's voice.
Right, yeah. You look up and you're like, what the hell is that? Yeah, there's that moment the scene that we see where the three of you that are at the bungalow, you have that what the hell? And then, bursting in through the door, Farron kicks it in, and Vi's in the middle, and she's got the two guys in her arm, and they're trotting inward, probably leaving the door open.
That girl is with me, by the way.
Right, so the girl's with you guys too. You brought her along.
Doesn't that Chester and Farron are now fighting over her?
I'm pretty sure they're too drunk to care.
way too drunk.
And she's the worst. She's the worst out of all of them. She probably won't even remember where this location is, which is probably good for you guys.
Unless we pull the beer fest type of scenario where she gets drunk and then remembers perfectly.
She gets drunk and remembers exactly where it is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all the enemy has to do is get her really, really drunk again, and she'll be able to lead them right to you.
Yeah. Blackout memory.
It's awesome. Cool. So the three of you that are present in the bungalow and not severely intoxicated, how do you react to the three of them, like, skipping around the bungalow, singing at the top of their lungs?
Yeah, so, like, Morella kind of, like, approaches them, like, because she probably is, like, in the main courtyard, and then, like, hears them, and then, like, walks in.
Right.
And she smiles a bit, and she's like, oh, it seems you've already been drinking already.
Jess was the first to reply with a hearty, "There's always room for more."
She chuckles lightly as you say that. She's like, good. Because we're going to be doing that tonight. I believe we all deserve it.
More alcohol!
Yeah! Cheers!
Cool. So does anyone do anything significant during the night of drinking? Or can we fast forward to the nighttime / morning?
We can fast forward to the hangovers, in my opinion.
fast forward.
Well,
Yeah, I should have said that instead, but yeah, you get where I was going with it. That's good.
It's okay. Arkady has restraint, and he will have, old Kislev hangover cures prepared for everybody.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's going to
I'm
be...
not a doctor now. Do not get confused.
Yeah. Because as
It's not
the
medicine.
three...
It's better than medicine. It's grandmother's special recipe.
It's like fucking pig's urine and shit.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Oh my god.
You see this
That's
like
amazing.
pig's head just like boiling away. In
Yeah,
some pot,
it's
and
like,
you come out,
exactly.
what is this?
First, eat this entire raw egg, shell included.
All at once. Go.
I love it. That's fantastic.
But I think the more interesting sight we see is that Morella does not hold back with the drinking
Sure.
at all. So it's like more of the scene where she's actually drinking, and she's probably almost keeping up to pace with everyone else who are already drunk, and she's drinking her more than fair share of drinking.
Yeah. So you're getting sloppy too. Hannibal.
Maybe
Let's
sloppy.
talk to Hannibal real quick. Hannibal, are you participating?
Is the fucker even here yet?
Did he die?
Did Hannibal die? That is a good question.
Hannibal, is he actually in Discord?
Yeah, he's in Discord. It's just he might be muted. Maybe. Yeah, I hope the demons follow us.
Listen, anyone with ears could have followed you at this point.
Right?
Oh, he said you
We're all
back.
just
I'm sorry, I didn't realize he said
early.
you back in 15 minutes. Anyway, disregard then. So Arkady's showing restraint. We'll just pretend Hannibal probably doesn't seem like the one to get real shitty.
Yeah, can I make a roll to see how drunk and plastered?
Well,
Morella
yeah.
gets?
So here's what I was going to do. The four of you that do not have any restraint at this time, I need you to make me Constitution saving throws, please.
Yep.
Yeah.
God, I wish I had my inspiration now.
Yeah. So
I'm
Morella's
so
gonna
bad at
spend her-
Constitution saving
God,
throws, guys.
Chester. Oh,
So
no.
Chester
Morella's
was gone.
Negative, are you ready? Are you ready for negative?
Yep.
Hey, you still have lucky. You still have 2 luckies. Remember?
Right. Morella's gonna spend her inspiration.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes!
Oh my
Yes.
god.
That's amazing.
Nope, I'm letting it happen. Vi actually
Oh
dies.
All
Yeah.
right. So, all right, I know exactly how to do this.
I'm ready for it. I'm so ready.
Morella and Farron, you guys wake up in your beds. You get up, you stretch. You got a little bit of headache, but you rub your temples and it kind of goes away. And the sun is shining. This is the next day, by the way. So make sure you guys give yourself 3 more hit dice if you have room for them. you know, the sun's shining. We get the ba ba na 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 ba na 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 na.
Yeah, the peaceful.
Yeah, the peaceful early morning music starts to play, and please don't copyright me, YouTube, for doing that. And the birds are singing, and you know, you guys are nice, and maybe there's some soy calf brewing, and you guys get a cup. Vi and Chester, you guys wake up, and you're surrounded by blackness. Actually, Chester, you wake up first, right? Because you rolled a 5. You wake up and you're surrounded by darkness, but you can see, right? Because you have dark vision.
Oh yeah.
You can see Vi is like sleeping on top of you, like using your chest as a pillow. But it's clearly like dark out because it's all that kind of like weird grayscale. And you can see that there's stone like all around you.
Are we in like a box, or do I see a door?
So the area that you are in is probably it's probably maybe it goes up really high, higher than you can actually see. And you see that there's like a metal wall like to your right, and it's just long enough for you to lay down in. And it's probably wide enough for Vi to obviously like lay on her side with her head on your chest. And you're right up against the wall, and you can see stone like that goes up really high, but it's darkness higher than you can actually see.
Does my back hurt at all?
Aside
from the normal.
Yeah, if you you know, reach down, you're sleeping on stone as well.
Okay, so
it's probably like the area that you're in is probably like 5 feet by 5 feet width and length. It's like a box, and there's like one metal side of it, and then 3 walls of stone, and then the stone goes straight up, and then it's dark, and you can't see like anything beyond where you're at.
Okay, I'm going to like knock on the metal wall and see if I can hear if it's hollow or if there's stone behind it as well.
So it echoes inside of you hear like bong, 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 and you hear that it echoes like inside of where you're at. And I think when he does that, Vi, you wake up too, and you do not have dark vision, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, you can't see shit. You can hear something shuffling around near you, and then like banging on metal, like fist on metal.
I immediately punch it in the face.
So yeah.
Chester, seeing this, dodges.
Yeah, Chester, roll me a dexterity saving throw. See if you're quick enough to get out of the way. I don't know if an 11 is quick enough. I think you need at least a 12 because it's like the minimum. So yeah, I think that she grazes you, like she hits your jaw, like just a little bit, right? Like not enough to hurt you or anything.
Ow, Vi, calm down. Calm down, Vi.
Oh, okay. Whew, it's just you. And then I think I would go to like sit up. Can I sit up?
Yeah, you can totally sit up.
Oof.
Okay.
Just anytime she moves, just Chester lets
yeah,
out
because
like
I'm like
air.
on top of you.
Yeah. So I think the both of you notice too, it's starting to get real warm in here.
Ooh, this is not fun.
Chester, where are we?
Stands up. We're in a real dark hole. Really dark. Very holy. Not a good position.
Very holy. I'm gonna cast light.
Okay. So I think
Chester shields his eyes.
Yeah, you cast light, and you can see, like, all around you, it's exactly as I described it. It's stone, these gray stone walls. But I think the distinctive thing to note is when you cast light, you realize that the both of you are completely black with soot. Just covered head to toe. There's not an inch of your body that is not covered in blackness of soot. And I think that's probably a perfect time. Petrov, you open up the oven to see... to like put in the morning bread or whatever, and you see Vi standing there with light in her hand, and you see Chester sitting there across from her, and they're just sitting inside of the oven. Please tell me you just like slowly close the door.
Oh no, this is too good an opportunity to mock them.
Okay, yeah.
So what Petrov says is something more along the lines of, if this is personal business, I can bake later.
You know, why don't you come and join us, Petrov? And Chester's actually just gonna drop his pants.
Are you sure you're wearing pants?
I mean,
Totally wearing pants.
I mean, yeah, probably. You probably have your clothes on at least. Although there is a funny story where I actually took off my pants when I was super drunk one time. Overnight. Didn't even wake up to do it. Anyway,
Nice.
that's a story for another time.
I think if I would reach out her hand and just smear on Petrov's face the coal after
Just like reach out.
Chester does that, just to
Just like-
get it all over him.
The fin smearing face.
Yeah, I think Petrov's at least going to try to dodge out of the way of that.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
mean, I
exactly
think
the best position.
I think you get advantage on a dexterity saving throw to dodge out of the way of that one. Like, if anything, you just let the door close and she can't get to you.
Though, of course, you could fuck up.
At this
No,
time,
you got it, no
Chester,
problem.
Yeah, the door closes on you.
Yeah, you reach out, the door closes, you're surrounded in your light again. Also, Petrov, you realize you've lit the fire underneath the oven, right? Like, it's currently heating up the
Well,
stove.
good. That means they'll get out soon.
Right. So
except
yeah.
for the total handles on the door that we can use.
Well, you could totally just push it open, but you'd probably have to, like,
It's
use your
not
feet
locked.
and, like,
No,
push it.
I want a dimension door, both of us out of there without him knowing. So when he goes to open again, we're not in there anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, a relative location. Actually, you know what, though, Vi? You rolled a -1 in your con save.
Damn
I think that you're like, okay, I got this, and, like, you grab Chester's hand, and you're like, all right, and you go, and that's when you realize you have the worst headache you have ever had in your entire life. And I think that it actually, like, breaks your concentration and your light goes off. It's so severe, you're, like, almost debilitated from it. And,
All right, so
you're-
you see Vi go, no, I got this, and then keel over in pain.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Chester starts knocking on the door, and as soon as he hears the bang, his ears just, like, ring like a gun fired right next to his
Yep.
ear, and he's just down, too.
So Petrov,
I
you
love
hear
how
them, like,
useless we are.
you hear them, like, screaming from inside the oven.
Yeah,
Well, Petrov
this
does.
would probably be a time when like Morella comes in the kitchen before the screaming happens. She's like, "Oh, Petrov, you're making dinner, and what the hell is that?" As the screaming happens.
Sure.
We have either discovered something very disturbing about the nature of the relationship between Mistress Vi and Chester, or someone threw them in the oven and attempted to kill them last night. Not sure which.
Oh, my! It seems those two can't handle their wine.
Did you see them get in there?
No, I noticed that they couldn't keep up with me and Farron. They passed out or went away a long while ago after the night.
He raises questions regardless.
I suppose drinking with my father tended to have a good handling on the wine for me.
Oh
at
no, I
least.
would not dare challenge you on this myself. The question is simply, was this accident or attempted assassination again?
Of course. But why are they in the oven? That is a good question.
Yeah,
That
and, like,
is indeed question of the hour, no?
like
Perhaps
the
we
worst
should
part
let them
is
out.
the two that are screaming in there, right? It's getting worse because you're screaming in this enclosed space and it's kind of echoing, and, like, so your headache is getting worse and worse the more each of you is, like, crying out.
Well, I suppose you should let them out then. Petrov.
They seem certain they can handle situation for themselves, but I suppose if Lady Fairheart insists,
I do insist.
I will open the door and haul them out as best I
No,
can.
we just tumble out onto the
Yeah, that's
ground.
probably
like,
they're
no,
probably
no.
like both like
I will-
trying to get out at the same time.
Save to not get crushed by them.
Yeah, no. That's
Here
fine.
is a more better question. Does Chester tumble out with his pants still off?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you can get out of the way fairly easily, Petrov.
Yeah,
You don't need
it's
to roll.
more of like Morello like kind of like watches you two stumble out, and then she looks at Chester. She raises an eyebrow and she's like, "You know, for a big man, I'm surprised."
Oh, but how big it is?
Vi
She
goes
kinda
to
just
laugh at
raises,
that
she's
and then
like-
just holds her head.
She just like looks at it. She's like, "I suppose I expected a little bit more, but
You expected more from 9 inches? Jeez.
well, you are a big fellow. It should compensate the
Chester's
size at
only
least.
like 6'2".
I mean,
It's big.
it's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
But yeah, so penis jokes aside,
Yeah,
Hannibal, are you back
Nope.
yet?
Nope. Don't think he is.
Nope.
That or his mic is muted, and he's been talking this entire time. We just
I'm finally here. I literally just got here.
Wow, you missed the penis jokes.
Save us.
So Hannibal, here's what happened. Everybody decided to get drunk, except for Arkady. He decided to better of it. Vi rolled a -1 on her Constitution save, and Chester rolled a 5. So they woke up inside of the oven in the morning with splitting headaches. So they're now covered in soot in the kitchen area. I suppose that Hannibal, you would not have participated in the getting sloppy drunk.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, yeah. So there's some commotion down in the kitchens that Farron and Hannibal, you guys hear. I don't think we need to roll for length. I think it can be just as long as you want it to be, buddy.
funny story. I made that and I rolled 12, so it was a real fun time in that session.
That sounds painful.
Wait.
Yeah, no, there is such a thing as too big. Anyway, Chester also had his pants off. Hannibal, that's where that's coming from.
Okay.
Catman.
Yeah, so essentially you're just having a grand old time. So in the morning, since you guys do have business to attend to at some point, I assume Petrov, you feed Vi and Chester your home remedies.
Yeah, he's gonna give them everything he's aware of.
Yeah. So
They
again,
each got a nice chunk of ginger to chew on.
right? Yeah, all of the home remedies to cure hangovers. One
Shots
each,
of egg and vinegar. Yeah, it's great.
Each one more disgusting than the last, but it appears to be helping a little bit. You're able to get to a point where you are not dying of your headache. And what?
Semi-functional.
Where you are semi-functional, which is basically the state that you live in at all times.
Not wrong.
I mean, yeah, I know. I have to DM for you guys. I'm aware. So yeah, you guys get to a state of semi-functionality, and so now, since you have business to actually conduct, do the three of you that were at the gambling pit, do you info dump the information that you found out? Like, for example, and let's just recap so everybody's aware. Vi, you got a location of a possible hideout. Farron, you received word of where your friends might be hiding.
Mm-hmm.
And Chester, you got some more information that essentially means there may not just be one of these things that you guys saw in the previous from the Lord Appleton. And that there are some people aware that he's not in the city and the dwarves have been working with him, and there's some suspicion as to what actually happens with that thing. So you got a piece of the bigger plot.
I'm gonna share the pieces about Appleton, but not about the gun.
Sure. Cool. So yeah, so you tell the group that, like, hey, people, it appears that there are some factions or some people aware that Appleton's not in the city.
Yeah. Is the information that, we know where a possible hideout is made to the others, or no?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I would have said that. Yeah.
And this is for
The ass assholes.
which group of people? Yes, the ass assholes.
And Vi also would have pointed out that we got all this information without killing anybody or screwing anything up. Except for ourselves.
Yeah, and then Marilla
Yeah.
probably smiles at that and she says, "See, it's not so hard now, is it? But I believe it's time to what you people refer to as playing cat and mouse. We are going to be the cats, though."
Farron, do you? I'm sure you don't share your information. Like, that's something you just keep, right?
Yes, some of the contacts that I have made, I know where they are now located, so we could follow that up if need be.
More information is always good if you wanted to do that. Cool. So, with that in mind, what would be the next step for you guys? Are you guys just gonna like suit up and head to the possible, like the possible hole in the ground or whatever, wherever these people are? Is that like
Morella
an
would
immediate thing that
ask-
happens, or are you gonna go check with Farron's contacts, or are you gonna go do?
Morella
other
would ask
things?
the others on what the best course of action would to make. She feels, though, she would make it known that she wants to deal with the assholes as soon as possible.
I would probably say yes, but it's really not the best course of action with these people to go in guns a-blazing. I mean, spears a-blazing, my lady.
Yeah. Spears a thundering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
she kind of looks at you when you say that, and she's like, "Well, the last time they tried to kill me, they just only made me angry."
And at like 3 hit points.
7, but who's counting?
but for one, we don't even know how many of them are operating in this city.
Farron, if demons can't kill me, what can?
More demons.
Commitment.
All the demons. I think Vi would just point out, I don't even know if this is a real location of them. Why don't a few of us, you know, the stealthier few of us, why don't we go check it out and we'll report back? Then we can, you know, take it your way.
Can we do that without the splitting headaches?
Yeah, maybe in a couple of hours. Maybe we could do that in a couple of hours.
She sighs, and she's like, "You really possibly need to get a better handling on your alcohol." I'm surprised. Such
Possibly we
delinquents
should-
can't handle their own wine.
Possibly we should restrict future bonding nights for when we have completed the mission to find assassins that terrorizing the city. Yes?
Yes, but it was needed. Much needed.
One of my favorite things about this entire sequence is voice of reason, Petrov.
Exactly.
It's really the
Doing
best
my
part.
best.
Petrov dad.
Morella mom,
Mom.
Petrov dad.
I become that in a lot of games.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm playing a Ravenloft campaign. I've got 4 orphans that I'm taking care of right now.
That's so cute.
That's incredible. Anyway. So yeah, cool. So the plan is you're gonna wait for a couple hours. In that time, Farron, are you gonna go see if you can track down your contact while Vi and Chester are recovering from their death?
Yes, that will be my plan.
Okay. Are you taking anybody with you?
I'll offer it to Vi and Chester if they are up for a bit of walking.
Vi looks over at Chester to be like, oh, well, if he'll, you know, piggyback, maybe? And then...
He's probably got like a wet cloth on his head, like lying down.
Chester nods to her and then goes to get 2 crutches. Just 2 things to prop himself up with.
Aw.
He's gonna need some help with this one.
It's like, so Farron, do you want us to come with you?
They do seem like they may be more of a hindrance.
On second thought, I think I'll go alone.
I can come with you if you want.
Buddy system.
Yeah.
You know, I can
that-
get us in and out quickly.
Yes, I think you would be much better company, Hannibal.
Yeah. Remember the last time Hannibal and Farron went somewhere?
With Chester.
They were better than when me and Vi went somewhere.
It's true. It's very true, actually.
Hmm.
And I'm not the instigator. Well, I was the instigator of the Vi thing.
Sure. Okay, so the plan, as I know it, is Farron and Hannibal are going to go meet with his contacts, see if they've delved up any information. Chester and Vi are going to be tended to by Marilla Mom and Petrov Dad, and then we'll reconvene and go see if we can dive into the asshole there. So I think that the perfect ending scene to this particular day is Farron and Hannibal, you guys like get all suited up and, you know, get ready to go, and you walk out the door, and as you're walking down the street, you hear just the sound of somebody hammering nails into wood, and you see there's a paladin, and he's hammering a notice into like the side of a building, and like he moves away, and you can see he's got a squire with him. And the squire's carrying like this big bunch of scrolls, and he finishes hammering it, and he like gets down off his little like step stool, and the squire picks it up, and they move on to like the next building. And I assume you go up and you look at the notice, and it says, by the Holy Order of Sigmar, curfew is in effect at sundown. Any trespassers after sundown will be persecuted to the highest extent of the law of the land. So let it be done. And it's signed, Theogonist Wayfarer. Is at the bottom of it.
This may be a problem.
I don't like the looks of what's going on in the city.
Yep. And I think that, like, with that revelation, you both, like, look at each other and, like, shit. And I think we fade out into blackness.
Hmm.
Yep. And that'll do it. But you guys need some experience. You guys did a lot this session, I feel. I feel as though you've done a lot. Let's see.
You know, the threat of possibly Marilla killing her own people may have shifted some people to actually doing things.
Hey, I freed a slave.
You did. Yeah, technically. Yeah, I would say you freed a slave.
Yeah, experience.
Yeah, so I think that
Fatty XP.
last time...
Slaves are worth 20,000 XP.
They're not, though, unfortunately. I think that everybody
If you
can...
get rid of 4 zeros, then yeah.
Everybody can have 900 experience. Congratulations. You guys did a good job.
9.
Lots of cool RP moments. I appreciate that. I know
Only
pretty much
4,500
everybody has
more to
inspiration.
Not
I think
anymore.
except Vi and Morella.
Yep.
Vi, I am gonna give it back to you, Vi, because of your cool interaction with your brother inside of the gambling den. I felt like that was a really cool moment. We get a little bit deeper look into Vi as a character. And there was a moment that I wanted to... Oh, and Chester, if you had used your inspiration, I totally would give it to you as the second person this week for your electing to, you know, fail a roll on purpose to make sure that the character was within its bounds. I think that's great. I love it when players do that kind of thing, when they know their limitations and self-impose them.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was good. Overall, I had a great time, guys. Hope you all had fun as well. Next week, everybody should be good. Yeah? No conflicts with the 26th of August?
Oh, we have started school, so I shall be good.
Okay, cool.
There should actually be no more interruptions.
I probably won't be around the week after that.
The 2nd?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We can definitely discuss that next week for sure, or throughout the weeks. Cool. I'm going to do an outro. You guys are free to go. Hope you all had fun. I know I did.
Oh, yeah.
hello stream. How you guys doing? You guys doing good? Hope you all had fun and enjoyed this. Check in next week, the 26th of August 2016, for our next episode. I think this was actually episode number 9. So I think this might have been episode 10. I'm not sure. It was one of those. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. I had a ton of fun. Check back next week. We're going to see if the crew can handle the assholes. And the impending crusade that they started. That's it. If you're interested in supporting me, and you're on YouTube, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. That helps me out a lot. If you want to go ahead and go to my Twitch, hit the follow button too. That's awesome. You get notified when I go live. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, this kind of content, we do 2 shows a week, which it's time to announce our schedule for this upcoming week. Hold on 1 second. Before I do that, let me go ahead and do this. Feel free to check me up on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, all /Mankey Games. You can find me. Tell me what you're doing. That's great. I love Twitter. It's been awesome. And that's all.